Yeah, so pretty much just trying to get rid of some pieces, and that's so our best ever finish with the San Diego boys. Not the most favourable fixture in the world. Also not a bad one. It's sort of just like a bit of a 50-50 because whatever you want to call it, video or news or takeaway from Sorare is they've of course released a podcast thing with Nicholas. And doing an Ask Me Anything. So I just wanted to sort of sit, chill, talk to you boys about some of the takeaway points from this video. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Under 23's Road to Glory. In the episode today, we will be properly dissecting our side hustle in the MLS and looking to see how much we are returning as of so far. Spoiler alert, we had a massive result in the MLS this weekend with San Diego, so stay tuned all the way to the end to see just how well we did. With that being said, the comments Premier League is starting to heat up, so make sure you're getting your comments in for this video today. If you are enjoying the series, of course, show me by leaving a like and subscribe if you're new. Let's get into the video for today.
And how's the comment section doing today?
Yeah, lots of comments in for Mr. Naipan and Mr. Vitti. We had a couple of MDK being on my side, same with Nasi, and I think this week finally they chose the right side because the only man to get some points in the Comments Premier League this week was Huang J1, who you guys saw in the last episode I picked out, and he was actually our captain in our main team, so doubly doubly good choice from us. And yeah, I guess unlucky for everybody else. Honourable mentions to, or who got it in the end, Cal? Who got the highest score? Do you remember?
One second, one second. It
I
was
think I think it was all
high
the.
school's Wang J1. Um,
Oh
but
wait,
other than that,
he was the highest scorer.
oh wait, oh no, because we've got the midfielder one. I think it was
Ah.
Koki Kumasaka.
That's the one.
Got the
Yeah,
highest.
I was gonna say because I only gave 2 points for the Huang choice, so hopefully I
Yes,
wasn't wrong there.
yeah.
Yeah, so Koki was the top goal scorer, but nobody chose him. Everyone, see, a lot of people just staying loyal to Naipan, but he's just not delivering. And yeah, speaking about results, before we get on to that, I will say if you guys haven't got involved in the Comments Premier League, all you need to do is comment on the video and let us know who you think is going to be the best performing player in our gallery this week. And yeah, looking at our results then, this is Team 1, and yeah, I think the biggest, I guess, takeaway or the surprise, maybe if you like, is the fact that Rosenborg have scored 3 goals, and our players did have no involvement in any of them goals, which is a little bit unfortunate. And on top of that, obviously the defense or the defensive stack. Not only did Oka not start, but they conceded 3, didn't they? Or did they concede 3? No, they conceded 2, so didn't really score the best. So yeah, but we did get the captain choice right. And but yeah, we didn't. I don't think we returned anything for that main team, did we, Cal? Did we get an X? No, we didn't get XP or anything, did we?
No,
No. And then the second team, then, I mean, it was a talking point in the last episode, and yeah, Sota Catano decided that he doesn't fancy being in the gallery apparently because I think so he didn't play in the first game and
he did. He was a
oh
sub in the first, but he didn't play in the second.
didn't play in the second. There you go. So yeah, just a double game week, and your guys scoring 38 is not what you want really, and obviously that killed the lineup like dead. I guess just killed it dead, as none of the other players really done that well, except Vitti kind of done. I guess what we expect of him to get around that sort of 50 range. Just the rest not really doing too well. Or at least Sirius was back in goal. He missed a game, didn't he?
He did miss a game, yeah, but
Yeah.
he is back.
Yeah, which is always good. And then the last and final team that we had going into the weekend had Koki in, of course. Typical. Our worst team has our best player. And yeah, I mean, Huang and Koki both done fantastically, but everyone around them disappointed. And yeah, I think just in general, we've had better weeks, we've had worse weeks. It was just sort of one of those that was like, I don't think we could have really done much better because like unless we put obviously if we put Koki in the main team, maybe, but none of our defenders really scored too fantastic, did they? So
No, I don't think
yeah,
any of them did.
I think I bet. Oh, I guess the only good scoring defender was Huang.
That
So
was, yeah, sorry,
the
yeah.
only way we would have, I guess, had a really good weekend is if we had Huang, and then we had obviously Koki and the other Huang in the main lineup with ML side. But yeah, I mean, it would have. It was like pretty much would have been a very unrealistic team that we would have built, but generally speaking, it looked to be like the J League and K League players that performed well in the gallery. Which, well, as compared to say the Rosenborg guys and Stejkau and whatnot. But yeah, I think maybe. Oh, I don't know, Cal. Do you know if did the Norwegian league start at the exact same time as K League and J League?
I want to say it was like a week earlier, but they have like some weird breaks going on throughout the season.
Yeah, because I'm thinking maybe if we're thinking about it like that, K League and J League are just sort of in their flow state right now. Like they've had a couple of fixtures in a row. They're getting used to it again. Like they're back into that sort of season like mindset. Whereas maybe it's a bit too early, or the stop and starting in the Norwegian league is a bit. Maybe it's making them not perform as well, even though the team is obviously doing great. But yeah, that was our results for this weekend. Are you looking to become a Sorare manager? If so, I would really appreciate if you use the link down below in the description to sign up, because you'll be helping out a small creator like myself. And also the benefit that you guys get from that is if you buy 5 cards from the auction house or the instant buy market, then you'll receive £50 in-game credits. Okay, so obviously the week has been ticking by, and we have made some moves in the business department. Cal, if you want to take us through what's going on in the gallery, because I know we're at least trying to move on from some pieces. So go ahead, take
Yeah.
it away.
Yeah, so there's not been any incomings. As you said, we're trying to move some pieces around.
Mhm.
We have made a sale. There was Jeremy Raffanello that we got as a craft, I think, a few weeks ago. That's finally sold somehow. But apart from that, I'll go through some of the players we've listed. So as we said, Kitano is now listed. He didn't perform when he needed it most, so his on the market. Stejkau as well, just because their season's ending. Trying to move him on before he becomes worthless. And then just a few bit part players. So Jake Davis, who hasn't featured for us in a little while. Same with Utara Oda. He was more of like a 4-4 fifth choice striker, I think. And Hijiri Kato, he's just not playing well, and I'm expecting him to probably get dropped soon if he hasn't already. And then just a few rewards that probably won't sell, but we'll try to sell them. So
Yeah.
Mohammed Nasso that we got as a craft, and the craft that didn't work a couple of episodes ago, I think it was,
Oh yeah.
the Yoshi Take Suzuki. It is the special edition card, but yeah, trying to move them on for some money,
Mhm.
which is becoming quite difficult. But yeah, until they sell, we're not really going to have any incomings just because we don't have the budget. But I guess that kind of moves on nicely to what we're thinking. With obviously selling Stejkal, we're down to the two lineups
Yeah.
available now. And that is simply because the goalkeeper options that are available during the summer are either stupidly expensive
Yeah.
or they're, well, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
The ones that are
Yeah.
available, or they age out in July, which
Yeah.
doesn't help us.
Yeah, so pretty much just trying to get rid of some pieces, and that's the only business really happening on the account this week. And then I guess the notable names would be like Cal said, Kitano, because obviously he's just not performing, which is unfortunate because I think we'll almost certainly be taking a loss on him, right? How much
Um,
did we pick him up for?
you'd be surprised.
Oh, did
You'll
we pick
be
him up
surprised.
cheap? Yeah.
Um, yeah, we got him for £2.50, and
Oh,
I've
okay.
listed him for £2.95.
Hmm.
That is simply just
Okay.
because of his XP. I don't expect him to sell, but the cheapest is £2.74, and
Nice.
that's only a 2% XP. So
Yeah.
uh,
Nice.
I'm hoping that there might be some offers at least and get close to that £2.50.
Yeah. And then we just
That'd
need
be beneficial.
we need Stejkow to perform like in tough games. We need him to just perform well so that he sells. But I don't think that's completely unrealistic. At £2
No,
60 for a goalkeeper. But yeah, moving on nicely then. I will say there wasn't we didn't obviously because there's no rivals. Usually at this point in the video we would show some sort of rewards, but our only rewards this week have been earned with the MLS side hustle, which we will talk about later on in the video. So yeah, this is the lineups that we're going to go with this weekend. Like I always say, every single time, absolutely subject to change depending on any news that has been announced or whatever. But yeah, it's looking like going to be quite a tough one actually because the only fixture I'm like really liking the looks of is potentially Vitty's game. But even saying that, it's not like LAFC are the worst team in the world. It's just because they're at home. But yeah, obviously Naipan and Emil's side have a very tough game against Bran away from home. Um, I think Bran are pretty much usually nailed to be top three in the Norwegian league. Probably even favourites to come second this season to, of course, Bodø Glimt. But yeah, some tough, very tough fixtures. Even the goalkeeper and defender, not the most favourable fixture against. Is it Vissel Kobe they play against?
yeah,
Or
yeah, it
like
is.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, generally speaking, very tough fixtures. So we're not expecting too much going into this game week. And like Cal touched upon, we only have three goalkeepers. Sorry, only two goalkeepers this game week because we're trying to sell Stejkow, so only two lineups for us. But I'm sure we'll probably use the any spare cards and whatever. We'll probably chuck in a warm up, no doubt. But yeah, I think the only name that we are sort of umming and ahhing about um, was Hwang Jae-won, who has been scoring fantastically. I mean, you can even see from his you know um, I guess he's L15 here of 71 or just a pretty yeah he's cooking. So maybe we'll be looking to maybe put him in the first team or maybe even look to be
Yeah,
selling him because he's yeah,
one of
he's
the two.
yeah one of the yeah. So yeah, Huang might creep his way into the first team. But yeah, we'll sort of have to have a little look and think about it. But as for now, we're gonna go with this, and I believe Cal, it's your pick for the Comments Premier League. I think you've got first pick this week. So what would you like to go with?
I'm going to go with. Oh, it feels stupid not picking anyone in the first team when I really want to go for Huang. Um, no, I'm gonna be smart. I'm gonna go for Lee Tae-suk.
Okay, Lee Suk. Okay,
I
and
say smart, it's not smart, but
nah, rate it. I want to know if I spell his name right there, but SEO. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Damn, there's only one letter off. And then for myself, I think I'm very tempted to go Huang as well, just because he got me 2 points last week. And I don't really like I mean, Naipan's the only one that I'm thinking like maybe, but the fixture just isn't the greatest. Petrovic, not.
yeah,
You know what? I'm gonna go with Mr. Huang again, because he treated me well last game week, and I just think he's hitting the form of his life. So I'm hoping that it stays that way. And he does well. And of course, let us know in the comments down below who you guys are going to go with for this week. Our channel has finally become a partner with YouTube, and that means that you boys can become a member on the channel. How you would do that is by clicking the join button down below, and you can see all the exclusive perks to becoming a member on this channel. Not only that, but you would be massively helping and supporting a small creator in myself, making more videos like this one for you guys to enjoy. So I would really appreciate if you did join our membership down below. Thank you. Let's get on with the video. So our best ever finish with the San Diego boys this week, Cal. Thoughts?
Yeah. Um, a little bit bittersweet, but also what
You,
a game!
yeah,
What a game!
it's one of those you just got to take them where you can. I mean,
Yeah,
there's obviously like things we could have done better. I mean, that's typical. Whenever you score well on Sorare, it's so easy to sit there and say shoulda, coulda, woulda. But I
yeah.
think we've just got to be very happy with the outcome, and the outcome was a resounding 5-0 win for San Diego. And yeah, I will say fair play to Cal because you did pick a very good team, mate, a very good team.
I
And
wasn't too far off.
yeah, I was gonna say I think yeah, not too far off perfection really. Was there anything you could have done better?
Um,
I think defender.
Switching out the midfielder.
Ah, there you go.
That's
So
the only thing that would have made a difference.
yeah, so pretty yeah, you can't really beat yourself up too much about that. I mean, you've got perfect captain, perfect everywhere else. Just a midfielder switch away from yeah, literally gold dust. And yeah, we did actually manage to return $15 back from our sort of San Diego side hustle, whatever you want to call it. And I think yeah, job well done this game week. I mean, we really can't complain. I mean, if we can return $15 every game week, we'll be right there. So yeah, happy days, very good result. And have you worked out how much we would have got if you swapped the midfielder? Do I even want to ask that question?
So, for the people, I'll uh, I'll work it out for you. Where's the leaderboard? $300.
Yeah, so that's the difference in Sorare. Sometimes it's just yeah, small mistakes can sometimes cost you, and yeah, I think that ultimately though, if we're ever gonna hit a crazy score, not to say that 480 isn't a crazy score, but if we'll be hitting 480 again, let's do our damn best to be in Division One, because yeah, even
Well,
because that is something we can change. I mean that is something that we should be there. Try and aim to be there every week. And if we were there, we would have got $30, right? So
no,
yeah,
that's the worst bit.
483. Oh no, it's
481
45.
is
Damn,
22nd. Yeah,
Division One's hella competitive. And look at the boy,
yeah.
look at the boy Diogo there. By the way, what a
What a
what a
result.
man, what a man. What a legend. If you guys don't know, Diogo, a good member of the channel, and gets his lineups built by yours truly. And I'm pretty sure I built him something similar. I don't even know if I might have even built this for him. I don't really know. Um, I would have built something similar to this though, that's for sure. But yeah, so if that isn't an advocate for you guys to become a member on the channel, I don't know what is. But yeah, and then yeah, obviously looking forward then, San Diego are playing St. Louisa City away from home next, so not the most favourable fixture in the world. Also not a bad one. It's sort of just like a bit of a 50-50 because St. Louisa City have not been that good recently, but I think they started the season pretty good. I think pretty much since Berkey got injured, I don't think they've been doing that well. Saying that, I think Berkey might be back for this game. So,
He might be,
but
but
well,
that also fills me with confidence if he
exactly,
is, because he's
yeah.
not going to be match fit
Yeah,
for it.
exactly. That was my point. That was what I was about to say. Is that if he is back for this game, it's probably a good thing because you'd like to think he's not back to full Berkey form. So obviously haven't been injured recently. So any thoughts going into that game, Cal? Like what you're going to pick team wise, or are you just going to stick to the similar one that we keep going with?
It's virtually the exact same. I think the second team might have changed slightly.
Yeah,
What I have done, finally, so I released Luca Della Torre as a San Diego player.
nice.
So I've managed to pick up the San Diego
San
one, so I've
Diego,
just switched them out. I don't
nice.
think there was actually I think I might have saved money doing that,
Yeah,
which is stupid. Um,
good
but
for
yeah,
collection bonus and stuff as well, isn't it?
I'll
So
definitely
yeah,
a stupid bonus now. But yeah, I've put in Oni in the second team
nice.
just because of his performance off the bench
Mhm.
and the new forward Milan Iloski. I think he came off the bench as well, but he might start, or Oni will. It'll be one of the two.
Hmm.
Um, as I think Mighton got an injury
Yeah.
in the first half of last game after winning a penalty,
Mm.
so they're gonna want to bring in a different forward for that game.
Yeah. Absolutely. So yeah, with so that's all things San Diego wrapped up for this week. Um, and yeah, so the last bit I wanted to touch upon, I guess, at the end of this episode, because I didn't really feel like it was worth a whole video in itself personally, but I thought it was a good thing to throw into the under 23 Road to Glory. Is obviously the most recent, I guess, whatever you want to call it, video or news or takeaway from Sorare is they've of course released a podcast thing with Nicholas and doing an Ask Me Anything. So I just wanted to sort of sit, chill, talk to you boys about some of the takeaway points from this video. I know it's like 40 minutes long, so maybe some of you might not have watched it yet. But the things I noted down, which might be relevant for the future, is that well, good thing for this series as well is that it seems like they're going to be changing the way that Essence, you can redeem Essence and craft and things like that, which is something that the community has been sort of wanting for a while, especially from a content perspective. It's great for the under 23 Road to Glory because hopefully the changes that they make it so it's like oh you have let's just say you have 10 essence in under 23 and 10 essence in MLS. You can do them separately. Hopefully, you can craft separately. I think that's what they were kind of getting at in this video. They did sort of talk about, yeah, just pretty much being different ways of using the essence in the future. So I thought that was quite a good takeaway point. Hopefully, it is something like I'm saying. I'm not saying it will be like that, but that's sort of the takeaway I got from it. I don't know if you had any thoughts about that, Cal, or the way they were talking about sort of crafting and things like that.
Yeah, no, it sounded exactly like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It looks like we have more control over it, which is
exactly.
what everyone's really been wanting, especially now that you can't store it in boxes.
Yeah,
So at least they've listened to that because that was a big sticking point, and yeah, as you said, it would massively impact this series. So we don't
exactly,
have to worry about MLS crafts or
exactly.
just under 23 ones. But I
Hmm.
will say, give us under 23 essence for the under 23 comp and not neutral. It
Yeah.
seems stupid to me that you could play the under 23 comp and get a 34-year-old fucking player. So that little rant over.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and another point that they touched upon, or a takeaway point that I got from the video, was that they are adding some sort of loyalty program for loyal users, which
Yeah,
is quite interesting. And another note I made about that was that I think the people that have played this season will be rewarded with a box or something for the next season, like a return box thing or something like that. Which again, I think Nicholas teased in the video, saying how we're going to get pretty much rewarded for just being on the platform. I don't know what reward that's going to be, but yeah, it'd be interesting to have some sort of loyalty, almost like how like in Starbucks or Costa, you get the stamps. I wonder
yeah,
if it's going to be something like that. You play for a certain amount of days and then you get something for free, or I don't know. But I thought it was quite an interesting concept of just rewarding loyal, I guess, customers or loyal players. So, yeah, something interesting to note. I don't know if it's going to be exactly like that. That's just something that I sort of, I guess, coming to my own conclusions based on what they said. Um, they also touched upon thresholds being more of a thing, or bringing back thresholds. So tournaments like the Best of Europe, everyone you have to hit a certain target, and then if you hit it, then however many people hit it will get rewarded, whatever it is. You know what I mean? So they done it in Best of Europe. I think it was done with credits rather than money, but maybe in the future could be done with money, I believe. Like that's kind of the vibe I got from this
yeah,
conversation. Um, but yeah, so that sounds interesting. I think loads of people will be happy with that. They did also leak, or not leak, sorry. They did also suggest that they're looking to get into new leagues and stuff. And obviously, we saw earlier in the league earlier in the year, the sort of teaser of the Serie A potentially becoming its own competition. I can't believe when was that again, Cal? When did we get that sort of?
Or,
It was in
I
it.
don't
It
know
was it.
because
It was
out
in.
in the Twitter chat if people want part of it, get involved.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it was a few months ago. I think
Mm,
it's or it might not. It might have been less than that. I think it was during the we were in like lull of old rivals is going, but they haven't
mm,
announced anything that's coming out, and then they dropped a random
yeah.
video that had the Serie A badge at
So
the bottom.
yeah. So my general thoughts on it is, again, this is complete speculation. I don't know any more than you guys do, but I'm thinking they probably get the Serie A license. I think that's almost like, that's pretty much the next thing to come. I don't think it takes a genius to work that out, and I think which kind of comes hand in hand together. I think they'll get the Ligue 1 license as well, or be trying to do that because, like we've been saying for a long time, I think Sorare's trying its best to get out of the sort of champion, challenger, contender sort of competitions and go more specific. So it wouldn't surprise me to see Serie A and Liga and licenses, and then they get rid of champion perhaps, as sort of like a maybe something that they're looking to do in the future. And I also think controversial, and I don't know if anyone will sort of agree with me, but I do think Saudi might be on the way. Cal, what do you think?
It's it's inevitable. I know people won't want it in, but I
Mm,
mean, just don't play the comp, in my opinion. But
yeah.
also, with the amount of traction it's actually getting and the players that are going there, people will moan more about, oh, I've got this player and he's linked with Saudi. Now he's worth like £2 instead of 30.
Mhm.
There's not going to have that. It might still like drop, but it won't have
Yeah.
that massive impact that people were
And
already feeling like Edison got leaked. He went from, I think it
yeah.
was like 30 quid to about 4 or 5.
And I think a thing that sort of backs up what you're saying there as well, Cal, is that Nicholas was talking about how he loves the what's the right word, the stability of knowing where your cards are going in terms of like marketplace and things like that. Like
Yeah,
I think they really like the idea of, having these in-season cards that slowly regress in price as the season goes on, because obviously their utility is becoming less and less, and I feel like the site will hate the idea of a card being, going from, like Cal was saying, 30 quid to 2 quid or whatever, because it just creates that sort of feeling like you've been robbed in a sense. You know what I mean? Like if you pay £30 for a card, he goes to Saudi, and then he's worth nothing. It can leave a bit of taste in your mouth. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. Well, it puts
um,
people off investing
yeah,
because you don't want to buy a player for them to essentially be worth nothing, and
yep,
you've got no utility from them. So it kind of makes sense.
yeah. So I think Saudi is, personally, I think it's on the horizon. Let us know in the comments what you guys think. Another thing I did note from this video, I will say as well, guys. I know this is going to be a longer video than usual, but I did want to sort of break down this one, and I did just notice a general consensus of a lot of love being shown to Classic, which is obviously
Yeah,
needed in my opinion. Well, I think everyone has the feeling that Classic needed a little bit more love. And also kind of like noted the fact that they didn't really mention or talk about anything to do with in season, which actually is, I guess, a good thing because well, I mean, I don't. It depends if they do change anything, but the fact they didn't say anything about in season actually kind of makes me a little bit more, what's the right word? Like little bit more confident, because obviously earlier in the year there was a lot of talk by myself. Like, I'm not hiding from the fact that I thought that classics may be phased out of in season, because of the way that they were doing the new competitions, like 5 in seasons needed and stuff like that. And we did touch upon that in the under 23 Road to Glory, but the fact that they didn't really mention anything to do with in season makes me think that maybe they're not going that way, if that makes sense. So classic might still have, like, the way they're talking about classic cards makes me think that classics will still be used in season. I don't know what you think about that, Cal, but it's sort of, it swayed me more back towards the fact that because they're showing so much love to classic, it doesn't really make sense for them to then take away in season utility when they're talking so fondly of the classics. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, them not speaking about in season at all is probably the biggest news out of the um
Yeah.
whole AMA. It was because the whole year has just been in season,
Yeah.
and everyone sort of veered off with classic, which is why classic prices were next to nothing compared to the in season. But
Mm.
hopefully, with this, I know they did also touch upon the SO7 and SO11s as well,
Yeah.
which, in my opinion, would be very good for classic, just because of the sheer volume of cards there are for
Yeah.
classic. It makes sense.
So
I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but it could be a separate like
yeah.
competition, just like an all star, but SO11 all star. So people can do it, or they can just leave it. It's up to them.
Yeah. So I think the main I guess the main takeaway then is that pretty much arena's going to be used as like a driving force for classic, almost like always having a special comp for classics to go into as opposed to like just the regular classic comps. So um and yeah, the I guess the only other two things that we haven't really discussed, which is one, what Cal just said about SO7, SO11, all that stuff, which I, by the way that they sort of spoke about it makes me think that yeah, it's almost definitely not coming next season, but
No,
definitely
they said it
something,
might come in
yeah, in the
special.
pipelines, yeah,
Yeah, it might be a special, but it's not going
yeah,
to be a core mechanic in the game.
yeah. And then the other, well, the other thing they did say again that is going to be something for um well, something to think about in the future is how I personally think that tactics from rivals is going to come back in some sort of like um, maybe classic, like to help the classics, or be in some sort of maybe that the arenas you have to use a tactic and stuff like that. So I think they're gonna have a little play around with tactics and adding it to like the classic gameplay, which I think is going to be quite interesting. Again, complete speculation. I don't know that they're going to do that. Just me, just sort of spitballing because I think. Forgive me, but I don't remember the other guy's name. But I think he mentioned about tactics being used or something like that. So yeah, quite an interesting one. Yeah, lots to talk about. I think there's definitely one more thing, but I can't remember it now off the top of my head that we've missed. Um, oh, what have we missed, Cal? There's one more thing and I can't
No,
remember.
I'm scanning it all in my head right now.
Um,
They spoke about a lot of things that they were. Oh, they
yeah,
were talking about the question on people wanting like a burn system for the classic cards to get in season cards, but
yeah,
he said that that goes against pretty much everything
yeah.
that Sorare is,
And
and that is never coming.
do you know what? Like I have always backed that. I personally I've always hated that idea. So I'm very happy they're not doing that, but I know a lot of people did like that idea, but personally I don't like that, and it just doesn't make it just doesn't. I'm not going to go into that debate because it just doesn't make sense. But yeah, there was definitely something as well that I know I'm forgetting, but I'm not going to hold you guys for much longer because we've got lives to live. But yeah, pretty much all in all, just a very positive I guess thing for the community to get excited about. It seems like Sorare have always been like kind of on the ball, and I think people always look for that like security in a site like this. You know, they want to know, they want the owners to be like transparent, talking about things and stuff like that. And I feel like Sorare have always done a good job of that, but just recently, the past couple of months, I feel like it's been a bit. It's weird because we get like the blogs and stuff like that, but I feel like it's different when you get a piece of content like this. You know what I mean? It's a bit more like you know, I don't know. It's just nice. I think sometimes it's just nice to see it rather than read it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, think I've remembered what you were missing.
oh, what was it?
I think it was the fact that they were collaborating with other like companies, the likes of Sorare Data and a few other smaller things that help Sorare, and they're going to help them,
Mm,
like help themselves, sort of thing.
yeah.
So that one thing about the SO11, they said that they might not do it, but someone else might do it, but you
Mm,
can use your Sorare card, sort of thing. I
yeah.
think that might have been something.
Yeah, yeah. I think they yeah. Like I said, I mean, yeah. To generalize it though, lots of positives, and generally speaking, just
Yeah,
makes you more excited to play and want to play so rare next year. So always a good thing. And I think yeah, that's just the main takeaways from this video that obviously we've all watched and digested. And lots of takeaways, lots of things to sort of get on board or get behind Sorare. But yeah, a great time to get involved. No doubt about that. There we have it. There is another week wrapped up in the under 23 road to glory, and yeah, we're just really waiting for the off season for the under 23s to really pick up and start scoring massive again, hopefully. With that being said, shout out to San Diego, because they're helping, I mean, they're helping keep the rewards there. And yeah, if you guys are enjoying the episodes and the series, show me by leaving a like on the video. Do really appreciate all the support on the channel, guys. Subscribe if you're new, and we'll catch you guys in a future video. Peace.